Ahead tonight, the National Security Minister emphasizing the importance of the National Intelligence Agency. And later on in sports, the countdown is on to the IAAF Bahamas World Relays. The weekend edition starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Candino Knowles, and welcome to the weekend edition of The Bahamas Tonight. A rather quiet weekend for police so far, despite the fact that the country's murder count seems to continue unabated. Just this past Monday, a man was killed on Faith Avenue while another young man was gunned down in Mason's Addition Wednesday night. Hours later, another man was killed on Wilkinson Street. The spike prompted the police force to deploy 100 senior officers to the front line. In the meantime, Urban Renewal 2.0 has been strengthened with the implementation of peace ambassadors who've also been deployed to help curb the crime problem. And despite what critics are saying, the nation's leader, who is also the man behind Urban Renewal, credits the program's benefits for its lasting impact on the war on crime. In fact, Prime Minister Perry Christie, who was addressing a Mother's Day luncheon yesterday, talked about the fact that Urban Renewal is working as government intended it to by reaching at-risk youth like those who are members of Urban Renewal Band.
This group is so large now. I wasn't sure which class this was, but now you said 2 years ago. This is an amazing thing, and I want you to join with me in congratulating Sergeant Campbell. Sergeant Campbell started off with me as Constable Campbell. And I don't know how you measure the quality of the contribution of people who put so much effort into helping young people. Because in doing what they're doing, they are shaping values, they're molding characters, and they're saying to these young people, you are pursuing a better way. And many of them who mix in their communities with other young people can be seen to be different because of what they're doing. And I hope you all know that you're setting an example for young people.
Well, as you heard there, the Prime Minister commended band director Sergeant Campbell for his work with the young people, and he encouraged band members to remain in the program, as many that have left have reportedly found themselves on the wrong side of the law.
Sergeant Campbell, to all who are working with you, including the young lady who I remember her as a youngster in the Urban Renewal Band, and I'm so pleased because some of the kids got into trouble afterwards. You know, some of them got, the effort wasn't being put into them and they went down the wrong road. And it happens. And I just want to be able to say to the parents, it's really so important for you to be able to continue to encourage your children to be the best they can.
Well, following claims of government spying by Free National Movement Deputy Leader Loretta Butler Turner, Minister of National Security Dr. Bernard Nottage asserted that the National Intelligence Agency gathers information to help in the fight against crime. Dr. Nottage's comments came while speaking with members of the press following a memorial service at the Defense Force Coral Harbor Base yesterday.
There's nothing unusual about it. Intelligence organizations exist in many countries. The one in the Bahamas, the National Intelligence Agency, which is there to supplement the gathering of information against criminals.
Now, Minister Nottage also stated that legislation will be introduced to Parliament to provide a legal framework for the intelligence agency.
The draft has been virtually completed. It's being considered now by various interests, and when it is finished, it is going to be brought to Parliament. So that is not very far off either. this request that we should have some legislation that underpins it is of the policy of the government.
Now, the National Security Minister also provided an update on the newly purchased Defense Force vessels. The new fleet is a part of the $232 million Sandy Bottom project, where 9 Defense Force vessels will be built by Damen Shipyard in the Netherlands. Minister Nottage confirmed the project is currently ahead of schedule, with the first boat, the Arthur D. Hanna, set to arrive in approximately 10 days.
The first boat, the Arthur D. Hanna, is in Bermuda today. It went through the Azores, then Bermuda, leaving Bermuda. It's now likely that it'll be about the 20th. So that's another week and a bit. Originally we said.
Minister Nottage and Defense Force Commodore Roderick Bowe visited the Damen Shipyard last month to get a first-hand view of the construction of the new vessels, the second of which is nearing completion.
The second boat is being registered now, which means it is totally assembled. It's being registered so they can take it on its trials. That boat, we expect it to come sometime in June, July. And it looks like that will be on schedule. We have to name that one, which will be doing shortly.
From the crime beat, police need your help solving a shooting incident that has left a man in hospital. What we know now is that shortly after 8 o'clock Saturday morning, the victim was on Kemp Road when a man he reportedly knew shot him in the left eye and fled on foot. Police report the victim was transported to hospital where he's said to be in stable condition. Police are appealing to anyone with information on this to call 919 or the nearest police station. Well, Minister of Foreign Affairs Fred Mitchell issuing a statement on those more than 200 missing Nigerian girls. It's a story that's made global headlines, and Minister Mitchell confirmed that the Bahamas government is joining with the rest of the world in demanding the return of the Nigerian girls abducted from their school. He indicated that a note of support will be communicated to the Nigerian government. The Islamist militant group Boko Haram has since claimed the abduction, which has sent shockwaves throughout the international community. And just yesterday, U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama announced she and her husband, President Barack Obama, were outraged and heartbroken over the abductions. Well, just over a month ago, a national reparations committee was formed to get compensation from Europe for slavery. Officials tell us that things are progressing steadily as the committee is in the process of framing its legal case, which will be presented to the International Court of Justice. While that case is still being built, the Rastafarian community, which has been seen to be leading the cause for decades, is well represented on the committee. But the group recently held a rally of its own on R. Bailey Park to discuss the issue. We spoke with Chairman of the House of Rastafari, Priest Philip Blyden.
We would hope that we would be able to pool our resources. We would be able to consolidate our knowledge, our strength, and be able to frame a claim for restorative justice, African restorative justice. Okay, it's not just about looking some welfare from Europe, but it's about securing the future of our born and unborn children. Reparations means really to repair, and to repair, we as a people have to start that from ourselves.
Chair of the Reparations Committee, former Cabinet Minister and Member of Parliament Alfred Sears is also supporting the group's efforts. He talked about the work of the committee and says it's about to embark on the year-long public education campaign it promised back in March.
We will have a number of persons from our society as well as persons who have been working on reparation engage the Bahamian society. We will listen. We will also allow the collective wisdom of the Bahamian society inform our work as a reparation committee going forward. And I want to tonight publicly commend the Rastafari movement within the Bahamas and within the Caribbean for consistently from the 1950s taking this call for reparation, repatriation, as well as the right of return. And it is really the work that the Rastafari movement has been doing over the years that the governments of the Caribbean is building upon.
Coming up, Junior Achievement Bahamas awards the best of the best. We'll explain when the Weekend Edition continues.